Ladies and gentlemen, greetings and salutations. Renee Box-Young, thank you so much for tuning in. Those who will be jumping in the building, those who will tune in afterwards, after live, thank you so much for tuning in. You know what I mean? You know what this is about, man. This platform is about, just simply loving the sport of boxing. We simply discuss, critique, analyze, and just talk about the sport of boxing. Y'all can take the hate somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Those who try to jump in and do this and that, whatever, right? Y'all take that somewhere else. The community here has been solid. The community here has been, harmonious, man. I just appreciate each and every one of you subscribers since day one, man. Salute. Thank you so much. Recent subscribers, thank you so much. Hey, those who have been commenting in the video sections, man, of the videos, I see new listeners, I see new viewers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And as I always say, viewers since day one, man, thanks so much for commenting in the comment sections, tuning into the lives, subscribing, sharing, et cetera, man. We're doing new things here at Renee Box-Young. Y'all already know this is your platform, man. I'm not sitting here all day saying this is me. Of course not. This is us. This is us. We are a community, man. So definitely thank you guys so much. You're already jumping in. Thank you so much, man. We're going to talk some boxing. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to talk a little bit about some Caleb Plant versus Truax. Everybody's talking about it, obviously, because we had high hopes, and we still do, with Caleb Plant because of his skills. But we're going to chop this up, definitely. There are a lot of differing opinions, too. So we're going to chop this up. First, let's do a little small talk. What's going on, LeVar Cooper? How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm doing great, bro. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. It's a beautiful day. I had the day off yesterday from work, actually. So, just today is a Monday for me, but doing great, bro. Doing great. It's a new year. I always reiterate this. It's a new year because we're still in January. Oh, no, where's February?
February, yeah.
It's February. Gosh, time flies, bro. My mind is still in January. My mind is still that just a couple weeks ago, it was New Year, a week ago. I don't know, dude. I mean, it's still a new year. It's still a fresh year, trying to have different perspective, different mindset, progressive. It's all about progressing, right, LeVar?
It is, man. Definitely. All about, progressing and getting over adversity, man.
Yeah, man. And, it's all about that, and, this new year, new mentality. And I don't just depend on a new year to change my mind. You know what I'm saying? Daily. This is daily for me. I got to progress, got to push forward, got to keep pushing in life in general. And everything I do, man, give excellence in all I do because it's to bless other people, man, definitely. So, but it's, still a fresh year, man. I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone's safe. Yeah, I got you, G5 in a moment. I got you in a moment, bro. I got you. So yeah, man, I just trying to, progress every day. You know what I'm saying? Fresh new year. Hope everyone's doing safe. Hope everyone's taking care of their health. You know what I'm saying? And that's my hope for all you guys. So how you been, LeVar? How's the weather over there?
Man, I've been doing good, man. It's cold. We had some snow, but you know what happens when it rains? It takes the snow away. So, my sons, they were able to go outside for a little bit and enjoy the snow. But other than that, man, just trying to stay warm. Salute to the chat, to everyone in the chat. Hey, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like this video. Let's get Renee to where he deserves to be. Let's get it.
Oh, I appreciate you, bro. And like I said, I reiterate, considering what LeVar's saying right now, this is all for you guys, man. I got some plans. I know everybody says that, but but I got unique plans for this platform. It's steadily growing, which is why I gave wrenches. It looks like we may have a need to that. Oh, attention, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, as the channel progresses and grows, I handed out those wrenches, and now what I want to do, I want to have a structured fashion, professional approach in this, because like I said, doing new things here in Renee Box-Young, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to sooner or later have a meeting with each and every one of you, kind of like a Zoom meeting, a virtual meeting. I'll hook up with all you guys who have wrenches, and like I said, it's going to be sooner or later, okay? And I want to have like just a quote unquote formal meeting, just to talk out, or how do we say, iron out details of how to use the wrenches. You know what I'm saying? And because I want to keep it open, I want to keep it mature here. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to have the same opinions. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man. Some people are experts in using the wrenches and they know how to use them. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But I just want to have a general meeting to break that down. So Bruce Goes is in the building. OG, how you doing, Bruce?
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Bruce, my brother from another mother. Salute.
That's it, man. I just got back from walking the dog. I turned you guys on, and I saw Renee threw me out a link. So that's like giving a dog a bone, man. I'm here to talk to you, brothers.
Hey, isn't that funny? Have you noticed that every time, it's funny, almost every time uh Bruce, before he goes live, when he jumps in, he always comes back from doing something.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Or if not, his wife fixed him a nice steak.
I gotta take care of my day early. We know
That's
guys,
good.
we
Yeah.
get tired in the afternoon, so we got a little spunk in the morning. We get it out there, get it done, and then we kick back and follow you guys around the world.
Definitely. Early bird gets the worm. That's what I'm talking about, man. Do things early. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's about, man. That's good stuff, Bruce. Thanks so much for jumping.
It's funny because I'd always get up early, and now I'm staying awake really late. Sometimes I'm online till 1 o'clock, 1:30.
Yeah.
I'm usually making Z's by then. But yeah, where I live, there's so much action going around here when the sun comes up. I got seagulls squawking. I got dogs chirping. I got the sun shining right in my face. So
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm still I still get up at that time. So I'm working on like 5 hours a day. But it's all good, man. That's the way it is. And I just went for a physical last week. A doctor said, no problem, man. Everything's good. That's just the way your body's up. So that's what it does, man. I'm a awake and bake kind of a guy. I've always been. Man.
That's cool. That's cool. LeVar, real quick, like I said, I like to do a little chit chat before we get to the boxing talk. You said a moment ago, I have no idea with weather, bro. I'm not that good with weather. I'm from the West Coast, man. Grew up there. I'm used to the nice sunshine and, man, little rain, Arizona all day, man. Grew up there. Little rain. So, LeVar, you said that. I didn't understand that. So when it snows, the rain, when it rains, or how does that happen? When the rain wipes out the snow or something like that?
Yeah, so I'm in the state of Virginia, so it's very rare that we get snow. So it could be snowing 1 minute, and then like the next day, here comes the rain. And then with the rain, it's gonna melt the ice. It's gonna get rid of the snow. So that's what I meant by that, Renee.
Nah, I got you. I got you. Cool. Just kind of
No,
learning
no,
there
you're good,
from
brother.
just
You're
learning
good.
from the weather a little bit there. So, Bruce,
It's
how you been,
crazy.
man? Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
It's the same thing up here in Rhode Island, man. Yesterday was a blizzard. We got bombed all day, and today it rained. There's no snow on the ground. There's a little bit of ice here and there, but even that, it's balmy compared to like it was last week. It feels like spring one day, and then we're getting this vortex, and it's freezing the next day. And hey, I'm used to this stuff, so I roll with it. And today's nice and warm, not so bad. Hey, I say nice and warm, it's like 35. So
Oh my gosh, man, that's freezing for me.
that's balmy right now around here.
Wow. Do you like it when it snows, Bruce?
Nah, I used to, but you got to shovel it now. You get sore. It used to be nice exercise, but you do it now all day, and you get sore the next day. But I heal fast, so I'm good in a few hours. But it's still it's not like it used to be. Not like it used to be. I'm waiting for those kids to come knocking on the door like back in the old day. $10 to shovel the path. 'Cause I got 100-foot path to shovel before I get to my street.
Wow.
Uphill, yeah. Excuse me, that's my wife chirping in the background there. But yeah,
No problem.
it's uphill, and man, I'll tell you, it's a good workout, but now it's not fun like it used to be. Not fun like it used to be.
Can I greet your wife for us? Hey, say hi to your wife. Hello, how are you doing, Queen? I hope everything's good. Brusco's wife. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, she likes that shout out. Appreciate that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And to everybody, I'm saying everybody who's jumping in the building, I appreciate each and every one of you, man. Blessings to you and your family. I'm saying I hope you guys are doing great always, man. So Toby Bartlett, Mac of the South, Chen Smoke, man. Yes, sir. G5. Got you in a moment, G5. Definitely, man. Thank you guys for jumping in the building, man. So we're gonna talk some boxing. Toby, I think I shout you out there. Thanks so much for jumping in, man. Thank you so much for jumping in. Let's get it, man. Let's talk some boxing here. Definitely, man. That's what we're here for. Definitely. And obviously we're here to, just have a good time together, everybody, like I said, just to give us an introduction, I guess we can say, a lot of people, the boxing, the boxing community is talking about it. Caleb Truax, Caleb Plant. Just to give a foundation here, one of the reasons why everybody's talking about this, when you have fight cards that aren't really, I guess, quote unquote, interesting, I guess we can say, or don't have a lot of attention or traction, it's because of the level of fighters that are in there. Obviously, Caleb Plant, the boxing community is expecting, obviously, a lot from Caleb Plant. Why? Because of his skills, because of his trajectory and calling out, Canelo, because of, the whole beef between, the whole buildup between Caleb Plant and Benavidez. The community has been calling out for, Caleb Plant to fight these guys. The community has been calling out for, Plant versus Benavidez for a long time now. This kind of reminds me of, the whole thing between Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders. Been going back and forth for a long time. Nothing has been happening. Caleb Plant, our expectations are high for him. The box community, generally speaking, our expectations have been high for him. You know what I'm saying? Quite high. And, we saw what we saw last night. And this is exactly why, I'm sorry, a few nights ago, whatever. And this is exactly why a lot of platforms are talking about this, about Caleb Plant's performance. You know what I mean? Some good, some critical, criticizing at least, his performance. Mixed opinions. Some people say, you know what? He did great. We obviously have to highlight, which is very clear. He hurt his hand. Okay, we understand that. Hurt his hand early in the fight. Okay, I don't remember which round. I don't know. But from what I understand, while the fight, check this out. During the fight, I'm just laying a foundation here. During the fight, I don't remember him expressing pain. I don't remember him, in the corner, like saying, "Hey, my hand," or you just kind of see it in the body language. I mean, I called the fight. I was watching closely, and I don't recall him during the fight, during the rounds. Okay, listen, guys, listen. Mr. Bell, Prince Bell, he's a fighter. Okay, I don't remember which division. I think around 140. I interviewed him, as a matter of fact. Shouts out to Bell, man, Prince Bell, aka Prince. Great, highly skilled fighter. He was boxing, and one of his last fights, and you can tell he gave an overhand right, a straight right. Boom! I think it was his right hand landed on his opponent, and he obviously reacted. He pulled his hand back after he clocked him, and he's like, oh, he turned his back, like, oh, he got hurt. After the fight, throughout the fight, you can tell ever since he hurt his hand. It was late in the fight, if I'm not mistaken. He got, and in the interview, I told him, I said, "Hey, man, it looks like you hurt your hand. What happened?" He's like, "Oh, just a little thing, but it wasn't broken or anything." But the reason why I say this, because in the body language of a fighter, when they're fighting, something happens, you can tell. They start saying it in the corner, because of the technology nowadays. They got the cameras, they got the microphones in the corner after each round, checking out the fighters in the corner, breathing hard, blah, 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 listening to the coaches, the game plan, whatever. Like I said, I was calling the fight. I don't recall Plant showing that he was hurt. Okay. But he revealed afterwards that he did hurt his hand, which I get it. That's fine. So, and this is why, there's a lot of mixed opinions here with Caleb Plant's performance against Truax. Okay. So that's kind of an outline. You already know Caleb dominated. Okay. Yes, he dominated. Controversially, whatever, won all the 12 rounds. Great. So it is what it is. Okay. Bruce, your general reaction on the fight.
Well, I obviously I watched it like we all did, because of Caleb Plant, and Truax is, his expiration date is already came and went. To me, that's the problem with the fights these days that we're having, because we've had the big break, with the COVID, which we're still, we still haven't seen the worst, they say, and there's a plethora of talent right now, and it's a bottleneck to get these TV dates. And when I see a primetime TV date used on Caleb Plant and Caleb Truax, to me that's not right. It's what do we say we're going to watch? We're going to watch the Plant fight. We're going to watch the Charlo fight. I want to say we're going to watch the Plant versus Charlo fight. We're going to, back in the old days, there was a big fight was two big fighters. Now we're putting, you can give them a pass because it's after a long layoff, but we're giving these guys the benefit of the doubt because of their name, and the opponent is almost secondary. Which, as far as I'm concerned, that just throws that throws the whole fight off. Obviously we want to see the best fighting the best, and that's not what they're giving us. I think since boxing's come back, what have we had? Two or three highly anticipated fights where A fighter is going to fight B fighter. Now it seems like we're getting one name against an also ran or has been or a former champ, and it's putting a damper on boxing as far as I'm concerned.
Right on. Before I get to G5, LeVar, what's your reaction?
Caleb Plant did what he had to do to get the win. I didn't like that he allowed a 37-year-old slow Caleb Truax to back him up during the fight, and it seemed like Plant would try to stand his ground for a little bit, but then next thing you know, he's backpedaling. He's walking backwards. He's boxing backwards. So, it could have been an off night, but I know that he cannot come like that. He can't fight like that against Canelo, because Canelo is like what I said last week. He's gonna bring that pressure, and once he brings that pressure, he's gonna come with body shots to try to slow down Plant. I think Plant should go back to the drawing board. Do I feel like he should fight Canelo like right now? No, I think he probably needs another fight or two. Because after that performance, I mean, yes, he dominated, but there was some flaws, and goodness well, Canelo was watching that fight and licking his chops. Was like, yeah, I want to get him in there as soon as possible. I just think he needs to go back to the drawing board. But then again, you never know. He could, let's say, if he does fight Canelo next, he could come out motivated, ready to go and put on a show. So it all depends on what type of Caleb Plant shows up. But other than that, he did his job. He went in there. He got the victory. Some people liked it. Some people didn't. I think that he should have been able to stop Truax. And that's all he was talking about during the interviews was like, hey, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop. If you're going to do it, then do it. So other than that, man, he did what he had to do.
Right on. G5 in the building. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, my good brothers? Salute, Renee, Bruce, LeVar. Salute to all my people. Salute to the chat.
Salute, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. On that, I seen a little ring rust. You know what I'm saying? So I take that into account. You can train every day. You can spar every day. But until you get into that live action, then, you know what I'm saying, it kind of means nothing. Well, it does mean something, but, if you're not fighting and you sitting out for a while, you can have some ring rust. So I did see spots in there where, I can tell that he was a little rusty. He did get backed up at times when he shouldn't have. I didn't really like that. Forces boxing overall. I mean, he can box, so we expected that. Now, sometimes I don't like he'll start sitting on his punches and then he'll get off the gas. Like he rocked him a couple times and then he kind of like eased up. Exactly. And I'm like, what you easing up for? Like, this is your time to, when you see blood, go after it, So I don't know if it's the game plan or if the corner's telling them something different, but when you got a wounded animal, you got to jump on it. You hit them with a beautiful combos. You can box somebody's socks off. But if you're going to sit down and try to go ahead and get them up out of there, you got to do it. And then he'll start hitting them with combos and then stop, reset, and then come back. Like, no, stay on top of him. Go and get him up out of there. You got to smother him. Make sure he don't get nothing off if you're going for the kill. So, it was a good performance, but, look who it was against. So, to each his own. He got the W. A lot of people in boxing these days want to see knockouts all the time, and that's fine. I don't knock anybody. I like to see knockouts too. But when you get dominated for 12 rounds, that does more to you than getting knocked out. Just look at like Mikey Garcia, people like that. Like look at them after they got dominated. They don't look like the same fighter. Like, because it takes a lot out of you mentally and physically. Because as a fighter, you mentally confident thinking that you can, beat this person, or I've been training X amount of years of my life doing this, and you get in there and get nullified in all fast. That's more impressive to me. But, new fans and new casual media, they don't like the sweet science of boxing. Mm-hmm. So, I'm trying to see when did, moving and having good footwork become, banned in boxing. I believe that's a part of boxing, moving and getting angles and things of that nature. But today, if you move around and have good footwork, you're a runner or you scared. Right. No, it's a sport where you hit somebody and you don't get hit. So why not go for the best possible, way you can win a fight by hitting your opponent and him hitting you less than he hit you. So I mean, it's a good performance, but we do need step ups though, man. Like it come to a point where your promoter or your handler shouldn't have to tell you it's time. If you want to be great, it's something in you that makes you want to be great. So I mean, it's like a burning desire on the inside of you that where you can't settle for fighting somebody who's not on your level or either on a higher level. So some people get complacent. I hope that's not the case, but we do need to see you fight some black fighters or somebody else. Like, go ahead and really test yourself. I don't know what it is, but I'm waiting on it. Still a hell of a fighter. So it's did today, it's like to be announced. When we want the fights that we want, we can't do nothing but just sit back and just wait on it like a football stadium that's going to be announced in the playoffs. Like, where y'all playing at? We don't know yet. We'll find out when it happened. And that's how I look at fighting today. You can want a good fight, but it's going to be a TBA or a TBD until that time comes. And, it sucks, but, this is where we at. So we got to be smart enough not to pay for certain things because the fighter we like is fighting a fighter not on their level. We got to not support that. And so they can feel that and then actually put it into use. Like, what? My fans not feeling these weak ass fights. So I got to step my competition up. So, I mean, good win, but I mean, it's Truax. I can't just give him too much. I mean, Truax credit as being like even a B+ fighter. To be honest, he's in there for survival.
Exactly.
You know what I heard too yesterday? That was the hottest topic online, obviously, in all the chat rooms. And I've heard a couple of people that are pretty knowledgeable saying that they think that Caleb Plant let up on him, not to scare Canelo off. I think about it, and it does make sense because we know Canelo was watching that fight, and he's looking for a name. He's looking for a big money name. Plant is that guy, and now he especially that guy because I think Canelo has the impression that he could go in there and mop the floor with him, and that would be a great fight to see. Because I just don't want to see any more of these Truax fights, and I don't want to see any more of these Liam Callum whatever fights. I want to, you guys know what we want. Just make it. You know that.
Okay, real quick. I want to cook on this a moment. What you guys are saying is excellent, man. I pretty much the same thing. I mean, exactly what G5 was saying too. That like when like I said, I was calling the fight. Those who were tuning in when I was calling the fight, around round 6, I said, okay, what are you doing, Plant? What are you doing? It's the same thing over and over each round. There are variables. There are things that we can't see, like what Bruce is saying right now. Maybe his approach was, I'm not gonna smash this dude because Canelo's watching. I don't know, man. I kind of take that with a grain of salt. I do, man. I think it's one, maybe like what G5 was saying, ring rushed. He hasn't fought in a while. 2, maybe it was his hand. But after round 6, I was like, what's going on here, man? Come on, Caleb. Come on. I was saying that between rounds. I was like, come on, Plant. And during the round, when I was calling it, the rounds, I was like, come on, his nose is bleeding, gushing out. You got this, man. And it's exactly what I was saying. I said the same thing what Gabe was saying right now, G5. while I was calling the fight, I was saying, "Oh, nice combo by Caleb Plant. Come on, let's go, finish him." But he wouldn't. He would back off, and I would say, "Oh my gosh, dude, what are you doing, Plant? Come on." According to, it's not like I want to just see knockouts, just like what G5 was saying, but according to Caleb's skills, I mean, he could have done a lot more, in my humble opinion. Now, do you think LeVar, then we'll get to Bruce, then we'll get to G5. Do you think it was the hand that was prohibiting him? I'm going to go to the restroom real quick. Go ahead, LeVar. After that, Bruce and G5. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. What do you think about that, G5? Sorry, LeVar.
Do I think he had hand issues? For me, watching the whole fight, there's a possibility. I didn't know until like after the fight when he talked about his hand, because it's like what Renee said earlier. Normally, if a fighter injured, hurts their hand or something like that, they'll go in the corner and let their trainer know, their coach know. So I didn't know. I think that it's a bad idea if he let off on the gas pedal because he was worried about scaring Canelo away. I have a problem with that. You are the top guy at 168. You are supposed to send a message no matter what. You send Canelo a message. You let him know, hey, this is my weight class. I'm the champ. In order for you to be the champ, or to be the top dog in his weight class, you got to come through me. I'm all about sending a message to a fighter. If you sit up there and you let off the gas pedal, there's a chance of you getting clipped, no matter who it is in that ring with you. And we've seen boxers that was supposed to win get clipped out of nowhere because either one, they were playing around, or they were letting the foot off the gas pedal. You don't do that, man. Because now, let's say Caleb Plant would have got caught and would have lost. What happens between Canelo and Plant then? The fight is pretty much dead. So at the end of the day, you got to send a message. And that's like me. Let's say I'm at 160 and G5, you at 168, and I want to come up there to your division. Nah, you're going to send me a message like, hey, Coop, you come up here, we're going to have problems. You're not going to come up here and dominate my weight class or try to take my belt. So I'm all about fighters sending a message. And I hope his corner didn't tell him that, because then that also puts a little dark cloud on the sport of boxing as well. I don't know what you G5 and you Bruce think about it.
Well, I was just repeating what I heard yesterday, in different chat rooms, and I personally don't. I don't know, man. I don't know what goes on in a fighter's mind. Caleb Plant has got an extremely powerful team around him, all the way up to the top. And what he's planning in that ring, what his training strategy is, I don't know. If it was me, I would have went out there and showcased myself. I would have boxed his ass off when I saw it.
Yeah.
I went for the finish, and I would have been I would have been the fighter that the fans demanded that Charlo face next. Yeah, excuse me, that Canelo faces next. But he obviously didn't portray that fighter. Maybe he broke his hand. I've seen champions quit on a stool with a broken hand. I couldn't imagine going out there and throwing punches with a broken hand. But hey, man, I'm not a professional fighter.
Right.
It's so subjective as to what went on in his mind and to what his corner's mind was. Personally, I would have planned the strategy differently, but he's the fighter. He's the champion. He went out there. He did his job. He pitched a shutout, but I just wasn't impressed, and I'm not clamoring for a Canelo Plant fight right now.
What you got, G5?
I look at it like, with Canelo, like, you can't look too impressive in order for him to want to fight you. They offered it to him or whatever, but certain fighters, if you look too good, they don't want to fight you. But that's not a game plan. Me personally, being a competitor that I am, is like, if you want to fight me, whether you like it or not, I'm about to go out here and whoop ass because,
right.
I got to feed my family. And this is already a dangerous sport as it is. So why am I going to go in here half-stepping just because I want another fight with somebody
right.
that clearly might not even want to fight me? He says he wants to fight me, but I'm not gonna bank on that fight. I gotta focus on what's in front of me right now.
Exactly.
So if
Yep.
I gotta knock this dude out or box his socks off and make him look even more silly, and then knock him out, then that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna, taper my game down just so I could hope that this other dude want to fight me. He already showed that he really don't want to fight you. So what are you trying to prove? Or let off the gas, or somebody, well, he showed some weakness, so yeah, we want to fight him now. That's a tactic that can work these days, but I wouldn't count on that or bank on that. You know what I'm saying? Because we already seen, you know, based off of history of Canelo, he's gonna move how he wants to move. He's gonna fight who he wants to fight, and he's not gonna receive any scrutiny or backlash. I would rather see Plant and Truax more than Canelo and Yildirim. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Canelo's not going to get really much any backlash for this stuff. So, it's like fighters just got to go out there and stick to the game plan. You can't try to bait a fighter in. You just got to do your job, because at the end of the day, you can go out there and look subpar, or you can put up a B+ performance and he still might not want to fight you. So you just did yourself a disservice trying to cater to somebody else if they did that, but
Right.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just a weird situation. Like, you're in a dangerous sport. You train and you get hit in your face all the time. Some people get hit less, but at the same time, you're already in a dangerous sport. Why am I going to half-ass a sport that helps me feed my family?
Mhm.
I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't get it, because it's like, if this is how I feed my family, why wouldn't I go balls to the walls every time I get in the ring? Because this is how I feed my family, and I can lose my life in this ring by getting hit with the wrong shot. So letting off is not an option. You wound
Exactly.
the animal,
Exactly.
you have to get put out of there. I'm going home. I have kids. They expecting me home. You can forget all the money and all that extra stuff. I got to get home to my babies. That's my lineage. That's my future that I got to make sure that I'm there for, so I can see them. I'm not playing with nobody in the ring and they trying to hit me in the
Exactly,
face.
man. Yep.
No.
Yeah. No, you don't get paid by the hour in this game. You train for months at end. You get up, you do your road work, you do everything, and it's all comes down to this point in time. You got 45 minutes of your life. You have to showcase it. And why are you going to mess around? Why are you going to carry somebody? It makes no sense to me. You're only as good as your last fight. So you have to shine, and every time you're platformed, you have to show them that you belong there, and you're at the top of the mountain. They have to come up and get you. That's why I was kind of turned off by this Plant and Truax fight, because the outcome was pretty much determined, as far in my mind, and I think in everybody's mind. It may be a lucky punch or something, but a 37-year-old guy with ruptured Achilles.
Slow.
Slow, exactly. It just doesn't make any sense. To me, it was a non-fight, but it's what they give us, and they throw it to us, and we gobble it up. And whose fault is that?
Hey, Renee, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I think this is what I think Caleb Plant forgot and what he didn't realize. You're on national TV. At some point, you're going to be fighting on pay-per-view. Who's going to buy a Caleb Plant fight?
Exactly.
You got to showcase your skills, man. And I get it. Renee, is like what I DM'd you yesterday about Ray Flores
Competing,
from Premier Boxing. He's like, hey, you fans, y'all need to be patient. The fights are gonna happen. You got to understand that we're in a pandemic. And I'm saying to myself, yeah, we're in a pandemic, but this is the time. This is like a reset. And Sean Porter said it. It's a reset. These boxers should already be in the gym training and working on and trying to master their craft. And over the weekend, you can definitely tell who did and who didn't. So
exactly.
So at the end of the day, you got to give the fans what they're looking for. You got to showcase your skills, because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are going to give you the extra revenue by either going to the fights or by ordering the pay-per-view. That's the only issue that I have with Caleb Plant is if you let off on the gas, you're not telling me, hey, when I fight on pay-per-view, I need you to buy it. I'm going to be hesitant about it.
That's facts. Now, look, real quick. I mean, this is exactly why I want to focus on this, because we got to cook on this, because it's not like we're picking on Caleb Plant. Of course not. But we expect. Okay, look, I just posted the video out. Y'all check it out when you have time. It's called "Doing Just Enough Is Not Enough." That's exactly what's going on here. I'm not saying all fighters do it. No, I mean, there are fighters, you know, historically speaking, and now. Why do you think everybody's talking about Jerome Ennis? Why is everybody talking about Virgil Ortiz? Why are a lot of people still to this day talking about King Kong Ortiz? Why are people still talking about, you know, the list goes on and on? Because these fighters, they don't care who's in front of them. They're going to fight them as if they're fighting a top-notch champ. What did Spence do against this Ocampo guy? I think his name was Ocampo, right? What did he do? And look how many people watched and were entertained at the fight and still talking about that fight, even though he knocked him out in the first round, because Spence was treating him as if he were a top-notch champion. That's how you're supposed to fight each opponent. Not give these little sparring sessions against the guy. You know, that's what happens, I think. The mentality of some of these guys that are really highly. Look what Bud Crawford's doing. Look what Bud Crawford's doing against the Khans, against the Meme Machines, against the Horns, against the Brooks, against the blah, blah, blah. Look what he's doing to these guys. He's not playing patty cake. He's not, you know, singing, you know, he's not running around. You know, I'm not saying the footwork. No, I'm just talking about he's not playing sparring partner with these guys. No, he's going in and he's showing up and he's showing out, giving his A game in each performance. Each performance. It's exactly what you guys are saying. That makes a big distinction between, you know, those types of fighters and other fighters who are highly skilled, really high, like Plant, and coming in and not apparently evidentially or whatever, right? Apparently not giving 100 A game according to your skills. And that's what kind of gets at me when I saw that Plant performance. I was like, bro, you got a lot more. And that's why I say I take it with a grain of salt, that idea, which is it sounds like a legit idea. I'm not nothing against it, but I take it with a grain of salt. Oh, he was just doing it so that Canelo wouldn't be, you know, run away from the fight. But we got to be clear here. Canelo's team been talking about 2021. They want to wipe out 168. He wants to be undisputed. So, you know, I mean, I personally don't think Canelo's going to skin out. You know what? I mean, I don't know the whole thing. I didn't get into the numbers. Sometimes I don't have time to check all that stuff out, you know, but from what I understand, Caleb pulled out twice. Didn't he? From the Canelo fight? Yes. Twice. So I think Canelo does want to fight him. I'm not saying he doesn't. I think he does. Even if Caleb, you know, performed amazingly against Truax, I think he still would want the fight. And, you know, I understand there are controversial issues concerning that. The reason why Caleb pulled out. I think, if I'm not mistaken, after Caleb beat Ustakati, it was Canelo called him out right after. So it didn't give time for Caleb to rest a little bit. I understand that. I think that's one of the reasons I think that's the reason why the first one he pulled out of. And then the other one, it was like a month notice. I mean, I understand those points. I get it. But the reason why I say this is why I take it with a grain of salt, this whole thing that, oh yeah, he was just taking it easy on Truax so Canelo wouldn't, you know, skin out of the fight. I don't think so, man. I just don't think it was that. And, you know, just like what Bruce said, it's subjective. This is really subjective. And, but I just think that, you know, Caleb should have done a lot more. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. He should have done a lot more. Now let's get to another topic here concerning this, okay? But let me just get to the chat real quick. Y'all are jumping in the building. Thank you guys so much, man. Toby says something interesting here. He says, Caleb, miracle grows some. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, no, that wasn't it though. He says, Chen, can you think of the British girl who smashed her hand up and carried on and won the title a few months ago? It's not Savannah Marshall, I don't think. So he's talking about, and we also see it with Deontay Wilder. I'm not comparing, like, just like what Bruce said. We only know how it is, you know. Only fighters know how it is. Break a hand, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm not even sure Caleb broke it though. I think it was just hurt or something. Okay, we got to understand something. I'm not saying, oh, Caleb Plant, he should have fought because you know what Wilder did and he kept going. I mean, tolerance with pain is different for every fighter, every person. But I personally think that, I just think that Caleb could have done a lot more. Shaq Bellhout in the building, Phil J, Kenneth Johnson, y'all are jumping in. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, man. I got you, man. Thank you guys so much, man. I see you guys. It says I had Plant KO round 7 and early on. He looked right on for the KO. Then just exactly, Toby. In my opinion, only he knows what. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right, Toby. In my opinion, but it looked like he took his. Yes, he did. And that's what the boxing community is seeing, you know what I'm saying? And I understand it seems like, okay. I mean, like I said, I got nothing to take away from Caleb. I mean, great fighter, but it just seems like some people are trying to justify his lack of giving it his all. You see, it seems like some people are trying to justify Caleb's lack of giving it his all against Truax. No, it's because of this. No, it's because of that. I don't know, man, because Caleb, I don't know, man. From what I've seen in his career, he's just an amazing fighter. Or is it that's just his limit? Or is it this is just his limit and he can't just do more? It can be, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with G5, then we're going to go to Bruce and then LeVar. G5 is, I mean, personally, from what I saw, let me just do this first and then we'll go to G5, then Bruce, and then LeVar. From what I saw Saturday night, you know, for some people, it may be 2 weeks ago by the time they see this live, whatever. I think Caleb's not ready for Benavidez, man. I don't think Caleb's ready for Canelo. I don't think so. Why? Also, because look at guys. I mean, I've given Caleb Plant the benefit of doubt for years. I've really been, you know, I love this guy. Love him. Great fighter, man. But when you go to see his fights, he has to step it up. It's time for him to... Enough of the Truaxes, enough of the Fugan Butts, however the heck you pronounce that name, with all due respect. Enough of the Mike Lees. Enough of the, I mean, the list goes on and on, guys. Enough of the Ustagatis. It's time to step up. Look at the rankings, you guys. I mean, you got Benavidez up there. You got Caleb Smith. Okay, I get it. But that would even be nice. That would even be nice. Plant versus Smith, man. Durrell, Saunders. Come on, guys. These fighters. Truax, get him out of the way. I mean, we Daniel Jacobs. I mean, you guys, there are some game opponents here. It's time for Plant to step up, guys. It's time. Now, my question is this. J5 will go to you, and then Bruce goes in. LeVar. Focus Ball's in the building. What's going on, Focus Ball? Thank you guys so much for jumping in. G5, is Plant ready for Canelo? Is Plant ready for Benavidez? What do you think, man?
I guess based off some of his performances, they may, you know, some may suggest like, no, he's not ready. But that's like saying a fighter is green who's already 20 fights in. So we won't know if a fighter is ready for a fighter until they fight. So I'm past this green. Oh, he's not ready. You're a professional fighter, brother. You got to go fight pros. You can't go fight amateurs or keep fighting less competitive opponents and expect to get draw a fan base and expect to be a pay-per-view star in the near future. Like, you have to start going after some of these people that I think he was foul on Jacobs. That's just my personal opinion. Like, Jacobs to me has got stagnant and is kind of a one-gear fighter now. So I think Caleb Plant will beat Jacobs. You know, I think he'll beat Caleb Smith too. You know, he just kind of. If they have somewhat of a name, you have to start knocking some of these people off. Like Truax, you're not going to get too much credit for Truax. Like,
right.
I mean, so I think he's ready for him. What game plan they come with, that's to be announced and decided. But I'm not saying no fighter who's a pro is not ready for.
But G5, what about? Let me put it this way, G5. Does he have the skills based off of the? Because remember, guys, we know the phrase. A fighter is only as good as his last fight. I mean, I kind of disagree with that, but to a certain extent, I do agree because it's like your fresh recent opponent fight is what you are to a certain extent. I'm not 100% on that phrase, but I get it though. So G5, regarding his last performance, does he have the skills, and is he leveled up for a Canelo or Benavidez?
He has the skills. Now, for the mental preparation and game plan, I don't think that's fair.
Right.
Like, the mental preparation to be able to, in round 7, to make the adjustments to make sure you stay ahead. Like it's certain stuff that I'm looking at. I'm looking at smaller different things. I know you have the skills. I know you can box. You have the defense. All that's cool. But where's your mindset in the fight? Like you got to know. It's like if you on fourth, it's 4th and inches, and you're in the red zone on 2 yard line. You know, you probably gonna run the ball. You know what I'm saying? You probably most likely are not gonna try to pass the ball because everybody gonna be in the box. So with my thing is when you get in a crunch tight spot against somebody who's on your level, what type of adjustments will you make then? Because if you're shaky on adjustments against a subpar opponent, then I'm concerned about how you do against somebody who's actually on your level or better. So I think the skills wise, he's there. It's just the mental preparation and the game plan. I don't think he's there yet, and that alone right there will make you lose a fight if you're not mentally prepared or your game plan is not prepared right for this opponent. So I think the skills are there. It's just the adjustments and the preparation and on the fly. I don't think he's there yet.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that I had to change it up how I asked it exactly. That's how I agree. Bruce goes. So do you think, it's not necessarily if he's ready or not. It's more like based off of his last performance with Truax, his skill level, mindset, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, do you think that's enough for a for a Canelo or a Benavidez?
Well, yeah, Renee, there's another old saying in boxing: a fighter only fights as good as his opposition. And Plant fought up to his opposition and dominated it. He pitched a shutout, but he didn't impress anybody. Now, if he had a tougher opponent in there, I think he would have fought a better fight. I think he wouldn't have backed off like I thought he did when he had him ready to go. He fought a guy that was just coming right at him. He could just go a little lateral movement, angles, bang him with a combination. And stop him, stop him in his tracks, and then do it all over again. But we were kind of tired of seeing it. We want to see a knockdown, or we want to see him hurt. That's the way the savage boxing fan is. I love a good boxer. I love footwork. I love lateral. I love it all. But when it comes right down to it, at the end of the night, there's nothing like a KO, nothing like a smack on the face to knock somebody silly. That's what the fans want, and Caleb Plant has to produce something like that, or he's just going to be in the pack like everybody else. He's going to be in the Andrade, and they're going to be waiting for a fight with Canelo, who's obviously the golden ticket, and the fans have to demand it. I think he has to put out a better product where the fans are going to say, I want to see Plant and I want to see Canelo fight, and that's going to be a pay-per-view fight. That's going to be an event. That's two names, and that's the impression I got from that fight Saturday night. I enjoyed the undercard more than I did the main event.
Bruce, real quick, I'm not sure I agree, but correct me if I'm wrong. All right, I mean you're the OG.
Dude, I'm just a fan, man. I'm learning as much here as
me too.
I drop a gem once in a while, but I'm not on the same platform as Curtis, Scrapbook, Stormy, man. I'm just a fan who's been around for a while.
No, let me just ask you this. Because I'm not sure if I agree with that phrase that a fighter only fights as to the level of his opponents or what have you.
Some do.
Oh, I got you. Because when you go back, Sugar Ray Leonard, I mean, Roberto Duran, I mean, I think these guys didn't care who their opponents were. They came in and they gave it their. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But for every one of those, there was also. Like when James Toney fought when he fought David Tiberi. David Tiberi didn't even belong in the ring with James Toney, but yet he won 7 out of 12 rounds. I thought he won the fight. Things can happen in a boxing ring. There's always that what factor, if factor, and that's the beauty of boxing. But going back to Caleb Plant, I just think he should have showcased himself more and created more of a demand for himself. He had a chance to make a pop, and I think he failed.
Exactly. What do you got, LeVar? So do you think, let me just reiterate that question. Based off of Caleb's last performance, do you really think, according to his skill set and mindset, preparation, et cetera, what he showed, can that level up to Canelo or Benavidez?
Far as Canelo, he has the skills. to beat Canelo. But then again, it depends on what type of Canelo that shows up. One thing that you got to give Canelo credit for is, man, he has great head movement. What if Plant can't hit him the way that he wants to? I get it. Canelo has, his legs might be shot, but Canelo always finds a way to win. Then that's the thing about Canelo. Canelo might set up traps. And the reason why I say that is because Plant has not fought the type of opponent that has been a caliber of Canelo. So it all depends on what type of Canelo shows up. If Canelo's going to pressure him, if he's going to come straight forward, head movement. Plant has the skills, but it's different when you're getting hit by Canelo. And Canelo punches hard. So can he take the punches? Can he get out the... Yes, Plant has great foot movement. I got it. But Canelo's great going to the body. So what if he slows up Plant? How is Plant going to get through that adversity if that happens? Because we haven't seen Plant in any type of adversity, I don't think. When it comes to Benavidez is on a different level. I mean, if not, either he's the same height as Plant or a little bit taller. I would say he's faster. I think that'll be a good fight. But Benavidez, man, he comes in there on a mission to take you out. If he has to break you down slowly to get the knockout, or if he's going to go ahead and try to knock you out as soon as possible. So it just all depends. He has the skills for both, but it all depends on what type of opponent shows up, how they fight, and if Plant can take those punches. And he was getting hit by a slow Truax, and I get it. Truax is not on their level, but if he was able to land punches, what do you think Canelo and Benavidez is going to be able to do? And we've seen it before, where especially and trust me, I love all type of fighters. And I'm just going off of what I see when I see like Canelo in the ring. I'm like, man, he's backing up big dudes. I'm like, what? And he's a small guy. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I just want to see how he's going to react. He has the skills, but is he going to be able to use those skills when it's time and if he has to go through adversity?
Now that's the thing. I got a big question mark in my mind, dude, lingering over my head on Plant, dude. I don't. Okay, I think this is what's missing in Plant, man. He definitely has the skills. He has the IQ, no doubt. The things that I doubt about him are his hand. Now, that's another point I want to talk about. He's brittle in his hand, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second time. Remember, about a year and a half ago, whatever time it was, he was scheduled to fight this Ustagati guy towards the end of whatever the heck year it was. I think it was 2019, if I'm not mistaken, or 2018. I don't remember. He was scheduled to fight around September, whatever the heck month it was. I know it was the end of the year. And then it was postponed because he had an injury in his hand. He had surgery in his hand. So he turned around a couple months later and fought him. Great win. Awesome win by Plant. Great win. Great fight. But and now in this fight, injury in his hand again. So that's one thing that makes me doubt that those hand injuries, man, injuries. Will that happen? I'm sure it will happen against the Canelo and Benavidez because he's going to have to punch these guys hard. These guys ain't going to back down, ladies and gentlemen. That's my second doubt. Okay. That's my second, that adds to the question mark over my mind. These guys are dogs. Okay. And that's the thing. I think that the element that's missing in Caleb Plant, that dog, that if you hit me, I'm going to get you harder. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Caleb has that. He hasn't shown it. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't. I got to be honest. I love Plant, but this is what I think's missing. You're talking about, look at Canelo, man. I get it. Cheat. I get it. Pop dirty. I get it. But when I just look at what's in the ring, okay, what I see in the ring, Canelo's going to go forward like a bull. He's going to fight you. He's going to counter you. He's super fast. I'm not saying Mayweather fast, whatever, but when we're speaking of speed, he's fast. Look at his head work. Look at his upper body movement. Those little punches by Caleb, because in my humble opinion, those punches by Caleb, they're going to be like, he's going to slip him. He's going to get hit a little bit. Canelo's not going to feel that. He's not going to feel that, guys. And Canelo's going to come in like a dog in a bull, and he's going to punch you out, man. That's what I see. Benavidez, same thing, man. I mean, this guy's going to walk you down. He's going to cut the ring off. Red means danger. That's his mindset. You see the psychological aspect, I think, is going to overwhelm Caleb Plant. Okay, let's go to LeVar, let's go to Bruce, and let's go to G5. What do you think about that, LeVar?
You're spot on, man. We all know Canelo fights in spurts sometimes, but we've never seen anybody take advantage of that. You get what I'm saying? He, against Triple G, his last couple fights, he fights in spurts, but nobody actually takes advantage of it to try to hurt Canelo. So I think you're right. Plant's going to have to punch hard. If he does, is there a chance of him hurting his hand? Absolutely. But maybe he needs to go and Floyd had the same issues with his hands, and he had Rafael Garcia. Maybe he needs to go hire a different somebody to wrap his hands better, or maybe he needs to choose better gloves. I don't know. It's gonna be he's gonna have to bring it, man. It's gonna be a dogfight, and like I said, we don't know. We haven't seen Caleb Plant in like a fight that's gonna test his will, and now he's gonna be fighting guys that are gonna test his will. It's all about who's gonna want it more. Hopefully he does. If not, man, he's gonna be a walk-in punching bag for Canelo and Benavidez. Benavidez is no joke, man. What he did to Anthony Durrell, man, and I get it. Durrell was, he's not in his prime like he was, but man, to stop him like that was impressive.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, I've heard a lot of question marks and a lot about hand injuries, and hand injuries are a very, very, very important thing in boxing. The hand has got the metatarsal bones. It's loaded with bones, and many can break. And there have been boxers who've had countless operations on their hands, have had titanium put in there. Who knows the extent of the injury of Caleb Plant's hands, or how far they're going to take him. Look at Floyd. Floyd had brittle hands. Back in the golden era, some of the OGs say Floyd would have never made it because of those hands. I want to see what Caleb Plant does in situations like that. He's got a lot of question marks over him. Can he rise to the occasion? Canelo is a great body puncher and has head movement. Is a tough guy, but he's got knee injuries. He's slowed down a lot. I think this would be a great fight, man. You got two names. We got question marks over both of them. Canelo fans are fanatics, man. They're like Donald Trump fans.
Yeah, I know, man.
And Caleb Plant has a different fan base. We have that question mark. We want to see what our boy can do. And so I think this would be a great fight on paper, and I'd love to see it in the ring, man. No more Truexes, no more Caleb Smiths. And especially no more of this urine, whatever his name is. We want to see the fights, and we'll pay for them. But you got to give them to us.
G5, what you got on that? Drive safely, G5.
Oh yeah, we good. Appreciate it, my brother. With me, I'm gonna take it back one step real quick, then we're gonna jump right back to it if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
What I noticed is that Caleb Plant, some boxers, they head hunt too much. Like, body punching is an underrated art in boxing. Like, when you had him hurt, stop head hunting. You hit him all the times in the face. He has a chin. He's not going nowhere. Work the body and then pop him. It's like people don't want to work the body. Like, that's not what's going to help you move around the ring.
I agree. So
that's what I was disappointed with. He abandoned body attacks. If he would have worked his body for about 4 straight rounds and then started doing all the head hunting, man, he would have got him up out of there, because you would have broke his body down and broke him down mentally and psychologically. Then when you hit him in the head, his momentum and his confidence is shaking. So he might not believe that he can stay in the fight. Like, it's a mental game in boxing as well. Like, you gotta make them feel like they don't belong in the ring, or they shouldn't even be there with you no more. And when fighters feel like that, or they can't do anything, they end up just, tapping on out. But back to the topic at hand, I think it's a great matchup. Whether it's Benavidez or Canelo. With Benavidez, you got a fighter who's 6'2". I think his reach is like an inch or two longer than Caleb Plant.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Plant, they got him listed at 6'1", so he has, good height, good range. Thing is, that dog factor.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have it in you, but you got to be a disciplined dog. And that's sometimes I see that's lacking in some people. They have dog, but they are undisciplined dog. Like, example, Errol Spence. When Errol Spence get hit with a good shot, he's not looking for a get back right away. Just know he's going to get that get back when it presents itself. Some people get hit with a good shot and they force their get back and get caught with something. If your opponent is of a lesser stature or a lesser, talent, you can get away with that. But when you have somebody that's on your level or better, you can't just do that, because they're good enough to see that and counter that. Like, you must think I'm one of these people that you fought before. And I think Caleb Plant has dog. I don't think he knows how to really tap into it. Like, you can beat somebody up and dog them out, but I don't think he really know how to like really tap into it and use it. And that can be a problem for not just against a Benavidez or Canelo. That can be a fight against anybody. You can have like a C+ fighter who has the biggest heart in the world, and mindset is that no matter what you hit me with, I'm not going nowhere. That fighter right there could mess around and beat you based off their belief, not their skill.
Yep.
So I do think that, he is lacking some dog. He has the talent. It's just, I don't know what the team is planning for him going into certain fights for certain fighters, and that right there is a big concern for me. That's why I put so much respect on Derrick James, because he has a game plan tailor-made for his fighter. And if he sees something that he doesn't like, he pulls it to the side, lace their boots up, and they make adjustments on the fly. So hey, these are great fights, Benavidez and Canelo for Caleb Plant. But I do have question marks on the preparation for those fights. And that right there alone makes me, uncertain about if you're going to go in with the right mind frame or the game plan to actually prevail in these fights, because you're going to be in a dog fight for both of these fighters. So what are you going to do when somebody is just as fast as you or just as active as you? Like, those are my questions. Like, what are you going to do? But I want to see the fights. Like, you're a champ. You proved that you belong here. So now let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
There's no more, oh, he's too young, he's too green. Man, throw that in the trash.
True.
But you say G5, you're a champ.
You gotta say something, LeVar? Go ahead.
I agree with G5, man. And when he was talking about Earl, Derrick James is tremendous. But you also got to give credit to Blu-ray, his strength and conditioning coach, too. And the last 3 fights, Earl didn't have him. So imagine if Earl would have had Blu-ray, in camp. And now that Blu-ray is going to be back in camp with Earl, oh my gosh.
But look, exactly what G5, and that was one of the questions that was in my mind that I brought out. That's one of the question marks lingering over my mind. The dog, the channeled aggression. Okay, because I've named the names already, and there's a lot more. I can't get the whole list out. Bud Crawford's another one of those guys. And Bud Crawford. Okay, man, look, when he gets hit, he's gonna channel that aggression at the right time, and he's gonna put some damage on you because of the dog in him. Spence, like G5 just explained it, the same thing, and the list goes on and on with some fighters. Wilder, oh my gosh, I'm not taking anything away from Wilder. I know there's a lot of people saying this and that about, man, all day, Bomb Squad, salute to the champ, man. I mean, you know, I mean, even Anthony Joshua. I'm not taking anything away from Anthony Joshua's skills in the ring. You know, he can box, man. And you see, but I don't see that in Caleb. I don't see that dog unleashed. Even with now these names I just mentioned, when they have fought underdogs, they do the same to top-notch fighters when they fight them. They do the same. You see the dog in them. None of this, oh, this guy's under par. I'm just gonna spar him. I'm just gonna take it easy. No, that doesn't exist with these champs that I'm mentioning right now. And I haven't seen that yet much in Caleb Plant, man. And
he
that's
hasn't
why
had the quality opponents.
What's up?
He never had the quality opponents to push.
But
him.
no, but still though, bro.
You got to display that though. You have to display that.
I agree.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. These guys, for example, for example, I mean, Bud Crawford, he hasn't had really quality in the welterweight. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Exactly. Look at what Spence did against Ocampo. That dude was no quality opponent. All the respect, but he came in and he said, you know what? I'm going to fight this dude as if he were a top-notch champ. Took him out in round 1. I'm not saying Caleb had to knock out, no, but those under-quality opponents, he hasn't shown that channeled aggression and really fought to the T with these guys. Seems like sometimes it kind of I just don't know, man. That's the question mark in my head. And if you put that up against Canelo, I don't know, man. I got that 60-40. And this is another point, real quick. Okay, let's get back to you guys. Okay, let's get back to, we're going to do it again. LeVar Cooper, Bruce goes, and G5. Now we're going to focus on another point. We got to break this all down. Okay, look. Now, the plan, according to Canelo's plan, okay, he's going to fight this Yildirim. Who cares? I can care less about that. Whatever. Okay. Next, he plans on fighting Billy Joe Saunders. He has his list out already. Okay, May. That's around May 8th or whatever the heck date. Early May. Looks like that's kind of set in stone already. Looks like it. Next, according to his plan, he's been saying this for months. More than a month ago. And his team, they want Caleb Plant. They want that belt. So towards the end of the year, possibly around September, he's going to fight Plant. Okay, if everything goes according to plan, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Look how long, just like what G5 was referring to earlier, I think it was G5. Ring rust. Okay, so if Plant fought like that because of ring rust and he's been off for a while, is he gonna fight between now and September? If it's scheduled to, if everything goes according to plan against Canelo, he's gonna have ring rust again, man. Who's he gonna fight in between? And look how active Canelo is. I don't think he's gonna. You see what I'm saying? That's another big question mark in my mind. If it goes out to what, like I'm saying, if Plant just lays off like a lot of these fighters doing, that's another thing we see in the issue of boxing. Fighting once a year. Oh, I got a spider bite and I got to pull out for another year. Whatever the case is, whatever the case may be. Oh, I pulled my muscle, so I got to have surgery. Another year, I'm off. Whatever the heck the case may be. Okay, if Plant waits from now to September to fight Canelo, which it seems like that's the pattern, kind of with Plant. I'm not knocking him 100%, but it seems like that's a lot of fighters doing that now. I got this 60-40, man. Maybe I don't know, dude. I got Canelo 60-40. Canelo going in and doing his thing. Look how active this guy is. Okay. So what do you think about that, LeVar? Then we'll go to Bruce, then we'll go to G5 about the time.
Time plays an important factor.
Will he I'm sorry to jump in, but time, do you think he's going to show ring rust against Canelo in September if he doesn't fight anybody, or will he fight someone in between? Or
I think so. It depends on how bad his hand is. If his hand is pretty bad, he's going to take some time off, and he's probably going to ask to push the fight to later in the year, which means if that happens, he probably won't have a tune-up. He probably won't fight again before he fights Canelo. If the hand isn't that bad, he's still going to take time off to recover. I mean, granted, he didn't take too many punches, but his face was kind of bruised up a little bit. So it just all depends. I mean, that's a hard question for me to answer because I want to know what's going on with his hand. If it's serious, then yes, he's going to take time. If it's not, if it's not serious, then he's still going to take a little bit of time off, but he won't fight. He won't have another fight after that. He'll probably jump straight to Canelo and show some ring rust. And you got to be sharp. Your tools got to be sharp when you're in there with Canelo.
Canelo will read that. Sorry to jump in. Canelo will read that ring rust a mile away, man.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Canelo is backing up big guys. You see what I'm saying? Caleb Smith. I'm like, man, he's towering over Canelo, and he's fighting. And G5 and Bruce, you're right. Caleb Smith, when he looked like he was scared, before the bell even rung. So I get it. But man, at some point, I really haven't seen anybody stand their ground against Canelo. And if Plant is hurt, what is he gonna do? Go in there with a hurt hand and try to fight him anyway? So I really think that it depends on how serious the injury is for Plant.
What you got, Bruce?
Well, I don't know. These fighters are so babied today. They're so coddled. Is Plant going to fight Canelo? Is it going to be next September? I mean, these things should be mandated by some of the powers that be. Let me tell you just a quick story here. When Ali was stripped of his title for not going into the army, they took the best heavyweights of that era and they created a tournament. And they had Oscar Bonavina, they had Buster Mathis, they had Jimmy Ellis, and they had Jerry Quarry. Joe Frazier didn't want to get into that tournament. But anyway, it came down to Jimmy Ellis winning the WBA heavyweight championship. Joe Frazier went on to, I think he fought somebody like Buster Mathis and took the New York State Athletic Commission championship. But anyway, Ellis and Frazier got together, but there was no stopping them. Once there was a gap there, the tournament was on. And my point was, I think if they did something like that today, and these fighters had the cojones to stand up and say, I'm one of the best. I want to get in that tournament and I want to rise to the top of it. And I'm going to be the next champion. And that's what used to happen all the time back then. Now these guys are so pampered and so they have so many different excuses. And you insult somebody on the internet, they're going to freeze you out of the title picture. It's just ridiculous. And getting back to that, I come from an era where the best always fought the best. I couldn't name 3 great fights from my era that didn't come to fruition. The fans demand these fights. Let's get these fights on. Let's get them on schedule. We don't want to wait till next September to see a questionable Plant fight a reluctant Canelo. Come on, let's get a demand for these fights. Let's put these fights on paper. Let's sell these fights. I mean, that's where I come from, man.
So, Bruce, real quick, just to reiterate a little bit more the question, do you think that if Plant doesn't fight until September, if everything goes according to schedule against Canelo, you think that ring rust will show? And do you think that, Canelo will blow him out?
Well, that's all speculation. But the thing I'm saying about is the demand is gonna weaken for it. I went out today, like I said, I was walking my dog today, and I bumped into. I always see a bunch of guys down at the end of the street, and I went down there today, and I said, "Hey guys, who's the welterweight champion of boxing right now?" I couldn't get a correct answer from a half dozen of them. I heard everything from Sugar Ray Leonard to that Mexican Oscar De La Hoya, and man, that's what the general public perceives in boxing today. They don't know what's going on, man. We have to create that buzz. It's the new media's job to promote these fighters, to get their names out there, to create the buzz, to create the anticipation. We want to see this fight in the summer. If we could see it in an outdoor arena, man, that would be fantastic. But until then, until we see these things on paper, I'm just here with you guys, chopping it up and talking about what if.
Definitely, man. G5, do you think that because if everything goes according to plan, Plant should fight at least Canelo, right? If everything goes according to plan. So, do you think that ring rust will show by September, and do you think that will really minimize Caleb Plant's opportunity to actually beat Canelo?
I don't think he'll have any ring rust. I think everybody first fight back, you know what I'm saying, they was really getting out of some type of ring rust or, you know, just being on the shelf for a little bit during the COVID. So, I mean, I think everybody showed some type of rust in some form or fashion with their first fight, you know, since the COVID happened or whatever like that. So, I mean, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll probably get him another fight because he probably don't even believe Canelo at this point. Like, I wouldn't believe it until you send me a contract based off the history.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit and wait on you to say, "Oh yeah, you gonna fight me," or whatever. And after this person, well, you can't look past your next opponent anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's a predestined that he's going to win. You know what I'm saying? When you already setting up fights, when you fight after fight, yeah, I'm gonna fight Billy Joe, then I'm gonna fight Caleb Plant. First of all, you need to get past Billy Joe first,
Right.
then worry about Caleb Plant. Like, so don't put the cart before the horse. And I don't believe it just based off the history of Canelo, man. I don't believe it until it's actually signed, sealed, and delivered. And is he gonna give people the ample, the equal time for training for him? Like Canelo, he's a good fighter. He's technically sound. Like he has very good head movement, upper body movement to like parry and does sort of moves, you know, defensively to make people miss. Footwork, he's not the best footwork. He doesn't have the best footwork in America. His feet are actually kind of more slower, but waist up, he's very good. So I mean, I think Plant style can give him problems just because he can move. So, you know, with that, I feel like he's gonna have to move in and out because that can wear Canelo out. Because I mean, Canelo has shown that he doesn't have the most thorough gas tank. So, you know, you gotta work to use your strengths and let him work to your advantage. So, I mean, I think he'll get another fight for the next few months. Stay busy. I don't think the hand injury is too much. Probably had like a little boxing fracture or something like that, which most fighters get at some point. And he'll probably get him another fight in between then, just to sit and wait on damn Canelo. Nah, especially once you know you figure out like, okay, this dude's not gonna give me enough ample time, so I need to stay busy and active to make sure I'm on point. Because if he just pop up and Billy Joe Saunders don't, you know, take that fight, then I might be next on the menu. Could not be. Like, I don't believe shit that Canelo say until it's actually done. He's a very talented fighter, but I don't trust him outside the ring. I don't. So until it's on paper, I don't believe that he gonna fight Plant. I believe he'll fight Billy Joe and somebody else. I think he used Caleb Plant name as a clout chase to keep him relevant because he's not selling like he once was. These are just facts. Like, people are not checking for Canelo.
That's true.
With the ticket sales and numbers and at the gate like they once was before.
Yeah, the Spence numbers just came out. Yeah,
they might be fanboys and, you know, want to promote him and, you know, put him on a pedestal, but that doesn't equate to him being the face of boxing because numbers don't lie. So it's like, I mean, it's all about a clout chase, you know, to keep the attention and what's hot and what's relevant on them. You know, he knows his stardom is fading due to, i.e., Deontay Wilder, Earl Spence. You know, even the Charlos have some type of name and following now that where at one point it was all your following. Now you kind of taking you know, a backseat role when it comes to face of boxing based off the real numbers and the things that really matter, not what some of the, you know, fanboys think. And well, look what he's done. Well, if you look over the last 4 years, look what Canelo has done. It's not like super impressive.
Right.
Like, you know, I gotta be honest. Like, I can't respect a man 100% if he's ducking fighters who are the best in the division and you keep hopping weight classes. I can respect that you're a damn good fighter, but I don't. You know, if you really want to be great, then why keep moving up and down in weight classes? You could have fought Benavidez before he lost the belt on the scale, but now you're about to fight for that same belt. It just makes it just hard to believe that anything that he says at this point. Like, I don't believe him. Like, his team, man, they's full of baloney, man. I see those contracts signed, they full of crap to me. Because I mean, that's what they've been doing for years now. So I have to trust what you giving me and showing me. Y'all say one thing, you clout chase one of the good black fighters, and then you fight somebody else. Tie your name to them. Oh yeah, I want this person, I want that person. Then you fight somebody else. I mean, that's just for clout and relevancy. Like, so I don't believe pretty much that Canelo say, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And until that actually happened, like I say, I see the contract with him and player sign, I believe it. With an equal amount of training camp, I believe it. Until then, it's all BS to me.
I mean, that's part of the big controversy about it. You know what I mean? That it's followed him. I mean, it's followed him for years, the trajectory of Canelo. I mean, the whole controversy and even him, you know, popping dirty some years ago, WBC back in it. There's just a lot of controversy that comes along behind him. And that's what that really taints him a lot. You know what I'm saying? It taints his whole reputation, generally speaking, and the numbers are showing it. I mean, people aren't stupid, you know, they're catching on, they're seeing what's going on, and put all that lame nonsense of you're a racist. Oh, you don't like Canelo. That's nonsense. The child's play to the side. I said this days ago. Put all that you see, we're bringing newness to this platform, and put all that child's play aside. We ain't got time for that. We speak of this objectively. You know what I'm saying? We speak of all this in, you know, the sport of boxing objectively. We don't favor fighters. We see fighters, everybody the same, 100. You know what I'm saying? I favor the sport of boxing over it all. You know, put all that lame, you know, child's play aside. Other platforms are great for that. Go do that over there. You know what I'm saying? And we're not, you know, maybe some people who are jumping in new right now, maybe some are listening. Oh, you're a hater. You could go somewhere else, man. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere else. Bye. I can care less about your views and whatever. But hey, salute. I mean, I'm sorry if I see people jumping in. Speak Your Mind Sports. Thanks so much for jumping in, man. You're definitely right on that, bro. Yeah. Crawford is like that when you're talking about the dog. Exactly. Sometimes it gets caught. That's true. And I was going to mention that earlier. That's facts right there, bro. We have here Maurice Isaac. I think Caleb gets beat. Yeah, I do too, man. If they fight September, I think so too. And that's another point I want to talk about real quick. Just real fast. I want to get the comments here. Well, Canelo has a better chin than Truax. Definitely way better. And better skills than Plant. 70-30, Plant doesn't have much chance to win this fight. I agree, man. As far as I don't think he has much chance. I agree, bro. Jamal Charlo should challenge Plant and put himself. That would be awesome. Or at least Benavidez. But it looks like Charlo and Benavidez are in the talks. But yeah, either way, Jamal Charlo, Plant, Benavidez, they got to get the mix, man. That would be awesome. Yeah, in September, I got you. Kenneth Johnson saying here, if Canelo is Plant's next fight, he gets beat. I agree. I mean, I agree, man. I'm sorry. I agree. Maurice, it looks like you're new here. I just want to get back to you. Go ahead and subscribe, man. This is a platform we just speak the sport of boxing. We love it in a mature fashion. I got to get that out there, man. This is a platform where we're bringing newness in all this, man, in this whole boxing game, man, definitely. And when it comes to the community of boxing and boxing talk, man. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like and share, man. Family, thanks so much for jumping in, man. So I mean, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all keep talking here. So I agree. Kenneth Johnson, his next fighter is next. I mean, the thing here is that we have to see. I would love to see Plant, and I agree with G5. It's hard to believe for what we're saying. The whole controversial, you know, trajectory, taking nothing again away from Canelo and his skills in the ring. Nothing away from him. It's just that the whole controversy, and we don't really know if he's even going to fight. I personally think he does want to. Hopefully it does, but it is true. It's iffy. It's iffy if he's really going to fight Plant at the end of the year. I hope he does, but then again, a lot of things that can, maybe it's a 1 month notice, or who knows. Who knows? I just really do hope that. You're going to say something, LeVar?
Yeah, I honestly believe that he will fight him because Canelo's chasing history.
Yeah, I do too. I think he will.
You know, so he wants to find ways of outdoing Floyd Mayweather. You know, to this day, that loss to Floyd still eats to him to this day. So I really do believe that he will fight Plant. And he just want to, you know. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's chasing history, and I think it will happen. And trust me, I like Canelo because of his skills. He's not my favorite fighter. You know, it's just that, man, you got to respect the man's skills because, you know, he's a dog. He's going to get you out of there. He's going to break you down and get you out of there. You got to respect his boxing skills. Now, him as a person, I don't, you know, I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, the outside stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I respect his skills in the ring because he has shown us what he can do in the ring when he has somebody that's elite. I like those fights with Triple G. So the American fight, we already know Glass Joe was going to go to sleep. So at the end of the day, man, I mean, when he fights top competition, he shows his skill set.
Right. So I really do hope this fight goes down, man. Now what Plant needs to do, he needs to, let him heal, Obviously, like you guys said, it depends on the severity of his injury, but let him heal up. You got to fight in summertime, man. You got to go for the gusto this year, Caleb. You know what I'm saying? You got to, fight somebody else in, around summertime or whatever, or early summer. I don't know. And then get that Canelo fight at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? I think he should. I mean, I think that's the only thing for Caleb, the best thing for Caleb Plant to do. So what do you think about that, G5?
Man, Canelo, I mean, like he got skills, man. But he chasing greatness at 168. You just dumped your greatness at 160. I hold the greatness at 160 above what you're trying to do at 168. Just based off. Now, if he would have fought Benavidez for that belt, I have more respect on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that you didn't beat the man for his belt and you fighting for it it's weak. You know what I'm saying? It's very weak for people. So with that being said, then I can't put too much respect on it because you asked for a franchise when you could have fought Jamal Charlo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you had Andre right there. It's like,
yeah,
I can't say you chasing greatness because if you fighting Yildirim for an open belt, I'm not going to give you credit for cleaning out 168 if you become undisputed because you didn't fight Benavidez for that belt. You know what I'm saying? You waited till it got lifted and came right back down. I knew he was going to do it. As soon as he got stripped, I said, well, I know what fight he got to go fight for because he wants the least resistance road, man.
Yeah,
That's how he is. That's how he picks his fights. Like, I'm telling y'all, man, don't be surprised if he used Caleb Plant's name as a crowd chase, y'all. I'm telling you, and fight somebody else.
It's possible, man.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe Canelo, man. Him and his team, because it's just not him. His team has agreed and supported the stuff he's doing, so they just as guilty as he is. So I don't believe the team until it's actually done. What man gonna turn down $75 million during a pandemic? Come on, man.
Oh yeah,
People don't make
that
that.
also.
Oh yeah, he did do that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, those are the things that follow him, and it's not looking good for him. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's just not looking good. And but my question, G5, what do you think? Do you think Caleb Plant should come back and fight somebody else before, at mid-year?
Yes, because he didn't take damage. Dude, barely landed 60 punches. So he didn't take abusing or
Right.
beating in that fight. It was a wash. So you should be back in the next few months. I mean, let your hand heal, but in the process, you got to keep working, bro. If your hand messed up, that don't mean you stop working on your lower body. Just because your hand messed up, you got to keep your hand and your feet on the plow and keep grinding to the common goal that you want to be the best. Get that hand. If I got X-rays, it ain't broken. All right. If I need to let it heal for a week or two, then cool. During that time, I'll be doing hand exercises or something to strengthen my hands up, or hell, whatever you can do to make sure that you avoid that. Wrap the hands different or whatever. But I'm not gonna let no hand injury stop me from trying to be great. No, I'm still gonna keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people, fighters that fought a fight with a bum hand and still produced and got the results they need to get done. They might have to take something off that hand, but you still have another hand. So it's like, hey, you let yourself heal, but you got to get back in the ring ASAP. By May, you should be back in the ring, bro. You know what I'm saying? At the latest, you didn't take abuse. We're in February. Within the next 2 to 3 months, you should be back in the ring.
Facts.
So all that waiting, man, if you don't take abuse, man, give yourself a week or two to heal or whatever, however long they take, and get back to it. Bro, I get paid to beat people up. If I fight 3 times this year, I'm gonna get 3 big bags. If I fight once, I'm gonna get 1 big bag. Simple addition and subtraction. 3 is bigger than 1. So if I'm fighting more times, I'm making more money. Hello, it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? So when you got skills like he does, I'll be back in there before the end. I didn't take abuse, man. Let's keep this ball rolling. Let's crack 2021 wide open. Let's bust their head open all this year. And I will be back in the ring ASAP, man. But I don't know, what the timetable is for him or what they trying to do. He should be back in the ring. I mean, you did that was a whitewash, man. Mm-hmm. So you didn't you just got beat up. But whoever in his camp, they need to start working on body punches, man. You can't just head hunt and think you're gonna knock everybody out. Some people have not just a chin, they have a head. Like no matter where you hit them at, they were not going down.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And the body is what's gonna take their legs, gonna help fatigue them even more, take their breath away. Why not hit him in the ribs or in the stomach to where you can make him bend over, then hit him with an uppercut or something? It's like they running away from the body when that's the most important part you should be working to begin with. But he needs to make some adjustments on his attacking and get back in the ring ASAP, like yesterday. Yes. I can't get with people saying I'm a professional fighter. You've been doing this for 10 years. Bro, I'll be fighting any chance I can. Any chance I can. As long as I'm not injured, I don't have any no ailments in my body or anything like that, I'm fighting. Get all that. I trained my life to get to this point. But why am I going to sit on my ass now when I don't work my whole life to get to this point? That's like getting to the dream that you want and then throwing it in the trash. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. Man. Why? Why would I do that? I feed my family this way. Like I think if people put their priorities and change them around and put them more in perspective, I think they'll have a different outlook on, fighting period. It's not just fighting for you and to look good. You fighting to make sure you can take care of your family, man. If anything, make sure they're good. You got to take care of wife or kids or whatever your situation is. It's bigger than boxing. And soon people understand that it's bigger than boxing, I think they'll be a lot further in their career, So he needs to get back in the ring ASAP.
All facts, G5. All facts. All facts, my brother. Yep, all facts. And I could never quite understand why these guys fight once a year.
Yep.
When that's how you make your money. That's where you get your paycheck. If I had I don't care what kind of a job it is, but if I had to go in 1 day a year, obviously there's the training and the nutrition. You've got your managers, you got your you've got everybody that you have to pay. But with one fight a year, to me, economically, it doesn't make any sense. And to keep yourself in peak physical condition, you have to be fighting. Curtis Anderson, he's got me so spoiled by talking to him. He tells me about some of these guys from the old day that I used to watch. He used to watch. Well, we followed. But I mean, guy, look at Sugar Ray Robinson. His first loss was to Jake LaMotta. 3 weeks later, a rematch, and this was a grueling fight. With 6 to 7 ounce gloves. This was a grueling fight. 3 weeks later, a rematch. In 1950, Sugar Ray Robinson fought 20 times a year. That's where I'm so sick.
Freaking times.
Really, man, these pampered boxes 20 times in 1950. Imagine that. That's like unheard of. It's even in the amateurs, that's practically unheard of. But that's the way it was. And when these guys are talking about fighting once a year, twice a year, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm looking at the chat. I just want to shout these guys out. We got a lot of very knowledgeable.
Shout them out,
man. You Speak Your Mind Boxing. Kenneth Johnson, Chen Smoke, D Jefferson, man, and D Hodges just got in here. You got a lot of boxing minds in here, and this is it's not a huge platform, but this is what I like, man. It's quality. It's not the quantity, it's the quality.
Yes, sir.
I just want to shout these guys out and tell them I appreciate them contributing and listening to what I have to say, what you guys have to say. And now this one fight a year baloney, and I'm really trying to curb my language lately. That's my thing for this year. I'm trying to eliminate as many cuss words in my vocabulary as I can.
Hey, this is the platform to do it on. Heck yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Ray. This is one of the best platforms in this YouTube. But once a year is nuts. How can economically, a fighter's team survive on fighting once a year? Do they sign a contract and get paid whether they fight or not? I mean,
I don't know.
They can create multi-million-dollar fights with these select few fighters. It blows my mind why they don't do it. They get into boxing to do this. They're right there on the bottom rung of the ladder, and all they have to do is climb up. And it's not an easy climb, but that's why you got into the sport. And instead of us talking about these fights, what if they came in this way? What if he hit him this way? What if man, just end all this talking and sign those contracts and tell us when the fight's going to happen. Give us a date, give us a time, give us a price.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Salute to the chat once again. D Hodges, man, thank you so much for jumping in. Everybody who's been jumping in. LeVar, were you going to say something?
Yeah, earlier G5 talked about that Plant didn't go to the body enough, and I agree with him. He was head hunting, and if he fights Canelo, man, he's gonna have to go to the body because I don't see him landing that many head punches to Canelo. He brought up a good point because when I was watching the fight, I'm like, man, he needs to go to the body. So G5, man, and Bruce, man, salute to y'all for seeing those things because he's Plant is definitely gonna have to bring his A game, and he's gonna have to do things that he normally doesn't do in the ring in order to beat Canelo. That fight does happen. And everybody in the chat, make sure you click that like button.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Bruce. Appreciate you, G5. And this session, we're about to close in a couple seconds, couple minutes. This session was dedicated to our post-fight reaction on Caleb Plant and Truax and his performance. Plant's performance, and what does that mean for his future? You know what I'm saying? It's important to talk about because to conclude my point, my opinion, to conclude with Plant's performance, highly skilled. We already know it, but he could have given more in one sentence. That's my reaction on Plant's performance. LeVar, Bruce, and G5 in that order. What's your conclusion on Plant's? What's your reaction? I know we already we exhaustively explained it, but. So just in one sentence, what's your reaction on Plant's performance?
Great performance. Great performance. He did what he had to do to get the win.
Bruce?
Yeah, he definitely did what he had to do. He pitched that shutout. But, personally, I was still left hungry after the fight. I still wanted more on my plate.
Me too. G5?
Great fight. Great win. At the end of the day, it's all about getting that win.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see better preparation from his team.
Good
That's
stuff.
the only way he's going to succeed. I mean, like to get into the meat and that fire pit that you want to go through, that gauntlet to beat the fighters who are the fighters that we perceive them to be or we think they are. You're going to have to prepare better.
Exactly.
Just no ifs, ands, buts about it. Not saying that they don't, but they got to be more intricate and detailed in their game plan for a fighter. Like you have to systematically break a fighter down, especially as the competition rises. So, better preparation. One word: prepare better, or a better phrase.
I agree. Rommel Lane, thanks so much for jumping in, family. Thank you so much. I cannot stop. And I just...
Rommel, salute.
Yeah, Rommel. Man, D Hodges says, believe me, he'll fight. I don't think so, bro. Hodges, I don't think so, man. He again, okay, so believe me, he'll fight way different against Canelo Benavidez. I don't know, bro. He fights every fight. I don't know. I feel you, though. Hey, I'm not. I mean, hey, I got you, bro. I feel you, but okay, before we go, man, I got it. I cannot, hide. I can't go over this. Okay, we'll start with G5. What do you think about that? Believe me, what D Hodges says. Believe me, he'll fight way different against Canelo or Benavidez. He fights every fight different.
Mm, I say that's 50-50. I believe that he is a gamer. He's going to rise to the competition. But even with all of that, your game plan and preparation for that fighter is is the deciding factor. Still, you can step your game up, but what if you get 7 rounds into it and you haven't prepared for adjustment that he makes in this fight and you don't have an answer for it? That's preparation. Lack of preparation usually equal losses. I mean, so I hope that, I believe that's the case, but I think his team gotta get on their job, like really get on their job. I put some on him, but I put more on the team because they seeing what he's not seeing, you know. So if you got extra eyes and multiple set of eyes watching things for you and they don't have adjustments for you, then they're doing you a disservice.
Bruce, do you think that concerning what D Hodge is our family right there, man? What he's saying that Caleb Plant fights every fight differently?
Well, I don't really, I haven't really seen that much of a difference in the way he fights. I've seen him fight several times.
Me neither. Yeah.
He's a standard, straight up boxer. He moves around a lot. He throws combinations. I just think he should have shined a little better because he was showcased. He was on prime time spot on free TV. You don't just pick those up out of the gutter, man. That's a gift, and you have to appreciate that, and you have to accept that and shine. And that's what he didn't do. And now, we're talking about Caleb Plant, but who else is talking about Caleb Plant? And that's what we should be talking about him, and other people should be talking about him. But I think it was just the fight that happened last weekend, and we'll see what happens next time. He didn't create a big impression on me this fight.
I agree. And we'll get to LeVar right now, but I didn't see him fight different, bro. I just see the same Caleb Plant mostly. I see the same Caleb Plant. LeVar, what do you think about that?
He's been fighting the same, but can he change it? Yeah, he's going to have to adapt and overcome. If he does that and he, focuses and he has the training camp that he needs to prepare, like what G5 said, then there's a possibility. He, like what I said a few minutes ago, headhunt, he's going to have to go to the body. But when he goes to the body, he's going to leave himself open, and, for Canelo to counter. So he has to have the perfect game plan in order to win that fight. So just like what G5 and Bruce said, his preparation, his game plan, because it's just like Lopez's father. He saw something in Loma, and I believe that the Canelo camp sees something in Caleb Plant. So we'll see what happens. He's just going to have to change his style a bit. He just got to do some minor tweaking. He doesn't have to do any major tweaking. He just has to do some minor tweaking, and he has to make sure his conditioning is up. He can't get tired against Canelo, or he can go night-night.
Good points. Amazing points, you guys. And D Hodges, that's our input. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And he can do. I mean, he has the IQ to do it, definitely, to do something different. And I think that rides a lot on like what you guys are saying, that the preparation, the camp, how your game plan, what are you going to do with this guy? So yeah, good points. Good points, guys. Man, I loved it. I can go on and on, but I got to go do some things, man. Man, I love this. Renee. I love this. Hopefully we'll see if you guys are good for it next later this week. We'll go live again, man. So. Man, I just love this.
I love it too, Renee. I love it too, Renee.
Can I say something before?
Yeah, go ahead.
We shut down. Like, example of showing us something different. Okay, Angelo Leo, Cool Boy Steph. Cool Boy Steph is known as a pure boxer. But when we got in that fight, what did we see? Something different. A phone booth fight. Like, he switched his game up, what we wasn't expecting him to do efficiently and well, and he did it. See, that we need to see different wrinkles out of Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? You can box. But Cool Boy Steph showed us, like, I can box. Oh, y'all think I can't bang? Watch this.
Amazing. He did amazing.
Say less. And he stood in the pocket, and he was able to duck and dodge and weave so many punches. I was like,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he took some licks, but I was looking the way he was rolling with some of those punches, so they weren't really flush shots. Like some of them grazed him, and a lot of them they just didn't even land. And I was like, that right there, I respected him more as a fighter because now it's like, is he gonna bang or he gonna botch? He can do both. So you got to pick your poison with him. With Caleb Plant, they looking at him as a pure boxer. Canelo's not finna try to outbox Caleb Plant. He gonna rough him up and bang him on the inside. That's how he gonna bring the fight to Caleb Plant, because he hasn't seen that Caleb Plant is a banker, or he want that phone booth fight. You know, he get in, then he get out. Canelo gonna try to rough him up, and if he can't handle it, it's gonna be a long night. Long night.
Definitely, man. What were you gonna say, Bruce?
I forgot. But anyway, I was just getting ready to get out of here like you guys
me too,
were.
yeah.
And
That's good.
I'm going to get something to eat, take a shower, and then I'm going to go see the OG and carry on from there, man. I appreciate all you guys. You're my family, man. What can I say, man? I love you guys, and Renee, I thank you for this opportunity to get on here. And you let me know anytime you want to invite me on, and man, I'm here, brother. Peace, everybody.
Definitely. Last words, LeVar?
Hey, Renee, man, thank you for allowing me to come onto your platform once again. Bruce Goes and G5, man, it's an honor talking to y'all, man. Y'all are like family, and I really do appreciate all three of y'all. And I just want to say for everybody out there, just make sure you're safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, do what you got to do, and take this pandemic seriously. And once again, Renee, thank you so much, my brother. And I am free anytime that you need me, brother.
Heck yeah. G5, last words, bro?
Man, salute to you as always, man. Appreciate the invitation to come out, to hop on the panel and cook with you brothers. If everybody in the chat, if you listen, if you're ear hustling or whatever the case may be, like, subscribe, hit the dislike, or whatever the case may be. It all helps the channel grow, and it all helps his algorithm grow, so he can get to where he want to be, man. So, don't be a freeloader, man. Actually hit the subscribe and like button, or share these videos, or tell a friend about it, or keep this ball rolling. Also subscribe to the brothers on the panel. If they choose to go live or want to crank up a page. I mean, I do have one. I'll be going live more often. Y'all sub to me, man. I'm usually a guest most of the time. On platforms or whatever, but I do have my own page, and I will be going live a lot more often. I'm waiting on this new laptop to come in or whatever, because there's some big things out here, and we need much, and the most and much is good coverage and real boxing talk that we can get, because you see the blasphemy that they try to push in today's boxing today, which is dampening our sport and making it real suspect, and making it entertainment more than a sport. So, you guys just keep your eyes open for, new content from Renee and, anybody that we connected with, man. Again, salute to the chat, salute to Bruce Goes, salute to you, LeVar, and Renee, salute to you again as always, man. I appreciate it. And that's all I got, my brother.
Heck yeah, y'all go subscribe to G5, definitely, families. Go subscribe to G5 all day, family. And hey, I would like to congratulate G5 because he kept it clean today, man. That's awesome.
Congrats, man.
You kept it clean, brother.
He did.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that?
No, I was gonna say it like, man, I kept it clean because with me being from Dallas, man, we very vocal and open, and everything is not gonna be sweet all the time when we express ourselves. But me, I'm a business major, so I do know how to conduct business and have conversations without cursing or doing anything of that nature like that. And then I know the angle of your platform and the way you keep it. So I just I try to keep it light and be respectful of anybody panel or anybody page, because it's not mine. Even though it's cool, I like to be respectful, because I never know who watching. So I do try to make sure if I do say anything, it's not too harsh or what makes people feel uncomfortable about tuning in or listening to what I gotta say. So yeah, I kept it clean, man.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Bruce, were you gonna say something? I think he just kind of jumped to there. So, okay, guys. So thank you guys so much, Sylvester. I see you, bro. Thanks so much for jumping in, man. And go to the playback. If anybody's tuning in late, man, go to the playback. We just broke it down exhaustively. Man, I just loved it. Like I said, man, I just love going on with you guys. And until the next show, man, family, peace out, man. Stay safe, each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Renee Box Young, man. We're going to keep pushing the content one more time. Subscribe to G5, subscribe to Family in the Panel. It's all love here, man. Definitely, man. So thank you guys so much. Drive safe, G5. You're still in that car, fam.
Oh no, I'm at home now, man. I'm at home. I'm just sitting in the car.
Oh, cool, cool.
I've been back. If I'm driving, I'm on the live or something, I'm going like get some cash, hit an ATM up. You know, it's real quick. It's a real quick trips, man. You know what I'm saying? That way I can tune in and, you know, actually hear what you brothers talking about, and, you know, we can piggyback and, you know, feed off each other's energy and what we talking about. So, no, I'm always tuned in. It's going to be a quick trip, man. Not too much. Not on the live.
Right on, right on. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, panelists all day, man, and everybody in the chat. I appreciate all you guys. You guys are awesome, man. So Renee Box Young, peace out. Stay safe, each and every one of you. Peace out, fam.
Peace.